So yesterday we talked about Annabelle, the doll from the Annabelle Conjuring series. And today we're going to talk about Ed and Lorraine Warren. A lot of people think that they're both charlatans. They never really saw anything at all. They made all this up. It's all a hoax. They did it to make money or to be popular. Those kind of things. And those things do happen. People make up all kind of stuff just to be popular over the years. We found out the Loch Ness Monster was faked. A whole bunch of different stories were faked. So today we're going to find out if Ed and Lorraine Warren are fake or not. I think they both passed over, so they're not with us anymore. But we're going to find out if what they were doing in life was genuine. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anyone and everyone who might like it too. Let's see. Please leave us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you want to get your own reading done, please hit me up. My email and my personal social media will be underneath this video. I'll also put a list of all the decks that I used underneath this video, and my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App in case you want to make a donation, and my Ask an Aquarius merchandise. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so this one is Ed, this one is Lorraine. So what we get for Ed is that he was infatuated with death, the spiritual aspects around death, spirits, ghosts, all that kind of stuff. He always felt things around him, dead things around him. That part is definitely true. We see them right here with him. And he figured out at some point in time that they could monetize this. The Three of Wands is about starting a business. So he was the one that realized that they could monetize his sensitivity, and we're getting ready to see more about his wife. So it was his brainchild. The wife is the Emperor reversed. So she really, she went along with it, but it was really him that was the brainchild of the whole thing. It said here that she kind of just like acquiesced to his will. He was the one who, came up with all these things as far as business was concerned, and she just kind of went along with it. It also says she suffered a lot. Doing this, I know for a fact, doing any kind of spiritual work, you are drained often. But it also said that she was definitely plagued with evil spirits, demonic spirits, evil spirits, all that kind of stuff. She was definitely plagued with that stuff. She was not playing. So she really was telling the truth. And the outcome card here is the moon reversed. And so this tells us that it was dark stuff. It was darkness. It was evil. It was possessive things that can possess you. A couple of times she was probably seriously attacked or maybe even possessed by these things. So she's telling the truth. He definitely felt things around him, but she was definitely the real deal. So that's kind of creepy. That's really creepy when you think about it. Now, they told me, I take a look at the archetype cards. This one came out reverse. This one is Lorraine. And this one is Ed. So it says here, Ed's came up reversed. They both did. Both of these were reversed. This one and this one. The first one tells us that he relied on luck rather than hard work. So he basically just got lucky. He got lucky that he was a little sensitive, and his wife is very sensitive. And he was able to monetize it. And he also came out at a good time, because the time that he came out, paranormal stuff wasn't as popular as it is now. So they got to be the leaders in the field because of it. So it really was more luck than anything else as far as he's concerned. She was a true visionary. She's a seer. So she is a clairvoyant and maybe even an empath. I'm not sure. But this card is telling us that she can see things. She was able to see things that other people cannot. And she didn't really care about monetizing it. She didn't really care about personal gain. That was more his thing. And she, like I said before, went along with it. This one was reversed. This one was him too, and it said that he liked it. He used it for self-aggrandizement. So the money, the fame, the power, the recognition, that kind of thing. So he really enjoyed that, and that was part of it. All she really wanted to do was help people. He was cool with helping people, but he really wanted to get paid. And he wanted to get recognized for it. And I don't see anything wrong with that, honestly. If you want to get paid for your talents, I think everybody should get paid for their talents. So I'm not going to hate on that part. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's make sure y'all can see it. Can you see it? Good, right there. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at these. The werewolf. The werewolf is actually him. I found that to be interesting because it's telling us that, like I said, he does have a dark and a light side. You know how werewolves turn and they're completely normal until the full moon comes out? That's basically what they're saying about him, is that he had a very dark side and he had a very light side. The light side is the side that was helping people and stuff like that, and the darker side was a little bit more sneaky. Darker side, like I said, was more into self-aggrandizement, money, things like that, being noticed, being seen, stuff like that. So he had both of those things going on. She's in the center. Mostly, as you can see, notice that his is dark and she's light, you see. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But it said that she was just really loyal to him. She was very loyal to him, and she was very loyal to the people that she thought that they were going to help or were helping. So she was really serious about that. I find that to be interesting because I really thought it was the other way around, but come to find out, this is what it is. And the last one here, all right, let's take a look at this one. Yeah, it said that the couple did experience a lot of true evil. So the stuff that they're talking about, the things that they're telling us, it is really happening. They're not, completely, fabricating these stories. It is happening, but they're exaggerating them. They're exaggerating these stories for more, shock value and things like that. The stuff that happens in spirituality, a lot of times, I was talking to somebody about doing magic because I was doing spells that day, right? And the person said to me, this is kind of boring when I was talking about it. And I was like, what do you mean? They were like, on TV, it's a lot more interesting. So I think that they just exaggerated the stories to get more notoriety by making the stories more interesting. All right, now let's take a look at these. The first one, number 18. Alright, let's see, 18. Yeah, it said that they dealt with a lot of stuff, and it said that they were extremely brave in dealing with the stuff that they dealt with. They dealt with stuff that many of us would not have dealt with. It says here, it says they, knew when to retreat though, but it says that they did deal with a lot of bad situations. They exaggerated them, but they were bad. These situations, they wasn't cute. This is the kind of stuff I wouldn't even want to deal with. The second card here, number 14. This card said that again, we were talking about money, right? This is a card about patronage. This is a card about, needing people to give you money, things along those lines. So some of this was about money, some of it was about support, some of it was just about being seen. I don't know how much they might have made from this, but I know they made money off of those Conjuring movies. And Amityville Horror, I know, was about one of their cases. So I don't know how much money they actually got paid, but it said that was definitely a contributing factor. The notoriety and the money. And it said that it also came with some unpleasant strings, which, of course, like I said before, you're dealing with these beasts and these demons and these negative energies. Of course, you're dealing with some unpleasant strings. So it came with a heavy price. It wasn't cheap. It definitely was not cheap. This one was about Lorraine. This is the happy place card. This said that all she really wanted to do was be happy. That's it. She wanted to be happy with her husband and her child and her friends and her life. She just wanted to cast worries aside and just be happy, and just deal with things as they are. But unfortunately, according to what this is telling me, dealing with all that negative energy and all that, the darkness and stuff like that. That's what was causing her to suffer. All right. Now we're going to look at these. I asked her specifically. I'd use my mediumship cards and talk to her because she has the strongest gift between the two of them. So I thought she was the one that would be actually able to talk to me, and she did. She told me that she talks to paranormal, or she will talk to paranormal, or has talked to paranormal investigators through EVP. So if you're somebody who's into doing EVP and you go to, I guess didn't they have like a museum? I don't know if the museum is still there, but she said that she does communicate through EVP. So any of you people out there that are into that, that would be actually kind of cool. You can pick her up. She also does automatic writing. Now in the movie, she was doing automatic writing, and she said that now she can, come to someone and do this as well. So if you're somebody who does automatic writing, you can may be able to tap into her. She says she was possessed. And this means that throughout life, remember I told y'all she said that she suffered with bad energies and bad demons and stuff. She was not, and the possession card really is about them plaguing you. So I'm not going to say that they had 100% control over her, but they were plaguing her, coming to her in dreams, her visions, all that kind of stuff, this demonic energy. So she's saying that truly was happening. She told us that she was of her honor, that the stories that she told were true. Exaggerated, but true. And she told all of us to watch out for the shadows. She said that these beings are always looking for people to haunt, to possess, to manipulate. So she said for us to watch out for these shadows, watch out for these shadow beings, watch out for these dark energies. She said it's not a joke, it's not a game, and if you think that you're being plagued by something, do something about it, because she's telling me that these things can they can harm people, they can possess people, they can harm people, they can plague them with bad energy too. So this is the skinny on Ed and Lorraine. Lorraine pretty much just wanted to help people. Ed wanted to be famous, and exaggerated many of the stories that we now know. Such as the Conjuring and things like that. And like I said, at any point in time, Lorraine could have said, these are exaggerated, but she's loyal. She's loyal to her husband. So she was honest about, what she said and what she saw and what she experienced. But when he exaggerated things, she let it slide because of her loyalty to him, and because, he was not, I ain't gonna say the breadwinner, because they both were doing things, but he was the husband. And in that time period, and they died in this time, they died recently, like in the 2000s, but when they first got together, because remember they were an older couple in the 2000s, man was the man was always the head of the household, so she did acquiesce to him in those ways, and that is why she loved him too. So she was very loyal to him. And even when he said and did things that she didn't quite agree with, she was loyal anyway. And unfortunately, a lot of us, especially women, can, a lot, especially during that time, and before that, the older times, I mean, at least when they were doing this, it was in a time period where women were gaining rights. I'm thinking like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, those are times when women were gaining rights, gaining recognition, stuff like that. So it wasn't as bad as it would have been in like the 1500s or something like that. But women still were loyal. And a lot of men are loyal too, not to say that they're not, but I'm just pointing out that there was a time period when there was a gender role expectation. And she was very much a woman of her time. So the expectation would be that she was loyal to her husband, and that's what she did. So Ed and Lorraine are not completely a hoax or scammers, but they're not completely keeping it a bean. They are exaggerating some things. Likewise, these stories are being told through movies and things like that and further exaggerated. through whoever writes the story, the screenplay. I think it's some books out there too, so it depends on also who wrote it. So it's being exaggerated time and time again, but that doesn't mean there's no truth to it, and that's why she told us to be careful. All right, guys, there it is. You come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.